Hello, hello. Do a little noise check. I don't want to break any speakers or anyone's eardrums, so I'm sorry if I have already.
Lovely dulcet tones there, Annie.
Perfect. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome back to another LondonFurs online meet. It has been exactly 6 weeks since our last meet. We decided to have a bit of a summer break, as well as with the change of lockdown attitudes and stuff. A lot of our weekends have started to become filled with social engagements and stuff with friends and family. So we decided to take a little bit of time out for everyone, because we were having weekly staff meetings and getting everything set up for the tri-weekly online meets, and it was getting a little bit intense. So yeah, we just slowed things down a little bit just to give ourselves a little bit of time. So sorry we've been away for a chunk of time, but we are back now, back and better than ever before, something like that. We hope you have all been well, etc. Things have been obviously pretty good with us. We've had 4 staff meetings since our last online meet, including a couple of unscheduled, unplanned daytime ones. And we've been continuing to work behind the scenes to improve the LondonFurs community. Some of our major updates have included an update to our social media guidelines, which is mainly our Telegram and Discord channels. If you haven't had the chance to look at them, they're available on our website now. They just briefly touch upon some additional rules. Again, that's what I touched upon on our last online meet, was that we're learning a lot about the way our online channels and stuff are being used. So as we learn, we just kind of keep updating things and changing things, as it is a big learning process still. And again, I'll just implore everyone to just reach out to us and give us a shout, whether it's via email or you can contact staff with suggestions or ideas, because it's that sort of thing that keeps us evolving and becoming better, and that's kind of key to us all. One great thing that came out of the last online meet was that we did a fursuit panel with some very talented fursuit makers, all based in the UK. And during this, it was quite an eye-opening or ear-opening thing to hear the way sort of business-minded furs shared information and care for each other and each other's products. You know, not only were the panel giving each other tips on methods of how to build and time-saving exercises, as well as quality-saving exercises, but they also were giving each other tips on where they get their supplies from. And to me, working in the events industry, which is a pretty competitive market, it was really refreshing to actually see people caring about each other, and essentially helping what you could see as business competition. And it was really refreshing and awesome to see. And from that, I really changed my view on looking at the furry community. It really helped change my perception of it all. And we had a couple of staff meetings just to discuss advertising and how we can promote other communities within the fandom, as well as other meets, events and groups, so particularly Telegram chats and the like. So we have managed to, LupusFurs updated a website to give us a community section, and we will soon be adding an application process for people to post their communities, groups and chats, essentially, etc. on there. So we'll be advertising on there, and it will also, once meets start back up again, be an opportunity to put adverts for your various communities and groups on the screens in the bar. So we just want to help out where we can, and obviously we want to promote that general ethos that came from that fursuit panel across the community as well. I think it's important that we help each other, whether you're a meet, whether you're a convention, whether you're a chat, whether you're a chat group that supports a certain part of the community that isn't represented, you feel, properly by other meets and stuff. We want to help out. So once we do get that application process opened, we'll obviously tweet about it, and we will put it within the online meet formats. So yeah, we'll let everyone know, and then we really want to help promote everyone. So get the word out that we'll be doing that. Other updates include we've been talking to the bar during this last 6 weeks just to see what's been going on with them. They did open for a short period of time but weren't getting a lot of business, so closed back down and are looking to reopen in September. This is purely as just opening because the offices by them are looking to reopen, and private meets and group events are still not allowed. But we've been coming up with some ideas and been discussing with the bars whether we can look to try and do something before the end of the year potentially. So kind of watch this space. And again, as soon as we can restart events, we'll be letting people know. And obviously with the interest of doing it in the safest possible way. And obviously if you have any ideas for that, how we restart and how we look to do things, we do need to look at this as an opportunity as well to restructure the way we run meets, the way we do meets as well. And if you have any ideas what you think could improve our meets, please, again, I implore you, just give us a shout. It's stuff we love to hear about. So please do get into us. A couple of other updates. We've been running a art competition, and shortly after my rant, we will get Tom to announce the competition winner, and I'll give him a shout about that. And Sparks has been working behind the scenes on our Minecraft server, and he has been working away on plugins, which has now mean that he explained it to me a minute ago. I'm not technically minded, but essentially the
Did you want me to explain it?
Yeah, could you, man, please?
Okay, so we've been working a lot of plugin stuff, and quite recently we have got Bedrock to work with Java, allowing both Xbox, PlayStation, Android, and iOS builds of Bedrock to run with the Java version, allowing users to just join in as everything else with the Java. Hopefully releasing the address today after or during this meet. There'll be a tweet about it.
We'll get that address out. So essentially the LondonFurs Minecraft server will be available to access via Xbox and PS4, etc. So that is exciting. So thank you for all your hard work on that. I know it's not been simple.
Nope, and I can thank some great friends for helping out, who are also in this chat right now. But I'm not calling you out because I feel I will embarrass you.
You should call them out. Call them out.
No.
Okay. I won't pressure you. But thank you. We do appreciate it. Every bit of time people have contributed to doing it. It's massive. And the Minecraft server has been something that's been great for people just to interact and stuff on. So again, thank you for all the work you've put in for doing that.
Yeah, he called himself out. It's Quasar in this chat. Quasar Husky, his name is.
Quasar Husky, thank you. You're a god.
He's been helping me out with the Minecraft stuff because he's done. He did most of the permissions with me and everything else. I've been setting up the servers, and he's been helping out with the internals as well. So you can thank him very much for this as well.
Legend. Thank you both. Let's get Tom in here. Tom, how are you,
Hello,
buddy?
everyone. I'm doing all right. Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for all of your competition entries. Like, we've had so many. It's been fun going through them all.
Yeah, we've had some really cool submissions into the art competition. Actually, we got
it's been We were slightly overwhelmed at one point, but just a little insight into how we've been voting. Everyone in the staff have all had 3 votes, so hopefully our results are conclusive to everyone having their input as well. So it wasn't just on my shoulders to try and pick the one that I liked.
Yeah, and it was actually super complicated, wasn't it? We were all like, how do we vote? What does this vote mean?
Complicated it.
So it did
But
get
the
quite
bottom line is-
heated in the chat. Yeah.
It was very fair.
Good.
But yeah, so we can have a look at some of our winners when you if we want to jump into it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's if you're in the event chat now, we will start posting some of these amazing submissions up.
Do I do the music now?
Oh yeah, you had some music queued up, didn't you?
Did I?
Please,
Look at that.
Yes.
oh yes.
Anyone showing their age there from was it Smart Gallery? Okay, well let's have a look at our 3rd place winner. I'm going to post this in. Hopefully that is uploading and will appear in a moment.
Beautiful. Look at Izzy Wolfjack.
Yeah, this is a really awesome one. I absolutely love the umbrella in there. Looking out at the rain right now, I can empathize with this, and also forced perspective. You know, my hat. I doff my hat to you, trying to do forced perspective. Which I think I once tried this for a picture, actually for Lupus, who's going to join us later, and it broke my tiny brain. So good work on that. And then let's jump on to 2nd place. There's a bit of a theme here, you'll notice, with 2nd place. Here it comes. There we go. Starlight glows. Another lion in the rain there. Very, very cool. And let's just jump straight in to our 1st place winner, which was ahead by not much. It was a bit of a Brexit lead of a couple of votes. But in 1st place is... this one. I think we all really love this one for my spirit. Like, love all the pride colors. Love a lovely, cheeky, happy Samson in the middle there as well. Very, very nice. So good work on that, and we will be in touch with Spirit with a choice of prizes. And yeah, well done on that. And then just as a little follow up to that, we have our nice runners up as well. So you can all have a look at those, and all of these runners up will be getting some Samson stickers. We'll be in touch with those. So thank you everyone so much. It was really awesome seeing all this work coming through. Hopefully it was a fun little thing to be doing over the summer, of the summer break while we're all stuck inside. So thank you everyone.
Yeah, we should definitely give a shout out to everyone that submitted. So I will slowly read everyone out. It's Kim Kyo Tohumiko, Scraft Cat, Sarah Fouch, who actually made the little plush of Samson, which I adore. I think it's incredible. You need to let us know where you're from, because I want to actually come and I want to get a photo with him in my fursuit. So
it's great.
Do let us know. Yeah, it's so many and cute. Spirit, obviously our winner. Starlight Glow, who we've already said, and who we had Big Bad Wolf, Klenkle, Eddard Wolf, and Faulkner Rabbit. Nice one. Yeah, really good submissions. I actually was pleasantly surprised by the amount of people that did it, and it's again, it's further testament to the community that we have around us, the talent that is around us, and we love to see more of. We should at some point get an artist panel going, one of these online formats, similar to the way we did the fursuit panel, and we, as we spoke about in the last meet as well, we want to do a photography one as well. And yeah, we'll just keep reaching out to people. So yeah, if you're interested in being involved in that, please let us know. And obviously, the people we just mentioned will be on that list. I love this music. I'm just vibing to it.
We just keep this going all the time now. This could be our theme music.
Yeah, I think kind of just it's lulling me to like chill. It's lovely. Delicious. So LF staff, who is here? Who is here at the moment? And give us an update on what you've been doing and what's how life is.
No, I hear if you can't recognise my voice, but I mean, not much really. I've had some photo shoots which have been fun, but some of you may know Jester from Critical Role that I've just completed and I'll be putting up soon. But other than that, pretty much just bobbing along really. How about you, Annie?
Nice. Yeah, it's been good. I've been I've been exercising and trying to lose weight because I've got nothing better to be doing at the moment. But on Tuesday, I managed to roll my ankle, and it gave me a cold, hard slap of reality of like my age and why I shouldn't be running around a football pitch in the wet. But yeah, I'm getting back on the boat. The ankle's getting a lot better, so hoping that will be fine for next week. And I'll be smashing out some more exercise.
Oh, I don't want to do exercise.
I think I'm karmically balancing things out for you, Annie, there, because I have been doing very little exercise.
Amazing.
What's
the weather's been a weird one, though, hasn't it?
Yeah,
all over the shop.
It has. It's a really weird August.
Who else? LupusFurs. What's been going on?
Hello.
Hello.
Me, I'm really boring. I just been working. The problems of having a work from home work, it means I just sit in front of my computer all day and every day.
It's just brutal.
It's quite.
Everyone working in digital right now is that at least the digital sector has become pretty busy over this period where everyone suddenly needs their services to work digitally as a priority.
Indeed. And I have to manage a team of, around 10 people. It's great. Wonderful. Everything's fine. Nobody's died yet, I guess.
I mean, that should really be your baseline.
Yeah.
It's just that's what we hope not to happen. I see Moo is in a similar position. I know Moo started working again, full on.
Yeah, I started working about 40 hours a week again, and it looks next week I'm going to do 60 because basically what happened is my company furloughed me and then brought me back, and no one was looking after our antivirus in that time, and we now need to migrate 500 hosts to a new system by the end of November, and that is my job, and I am going to be doing nothing but work for the next few
Living
weeks.
the dream.
I want to cry. I want to cry. It's fun. No, I'm glad to be back at work. It's just like they brought me back and they're like, "Oh yeah, do you want some like more money?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then like, "Okay, just do this thing and have fun, basically." And then they just left me to it, and that's it. That's what I've been doing. But apart from that, I've just been taking photos again, or trying to really poorly, and that's about it, really.
Cool. Bav, what's been going on, buddy?
There we go. Not much really. Same old. Can't really say what I've been working on because the company I work at, they've got like an NDA thing going on, so I can't say any much. But other than that, it's
MI5.
MI5, yeah. But we've got some. This company I'm working at, they've got some new publications that are coming out soon. So obviously everything's pretty quiet until it's launched. When it's launched, then they can talk about it. But right now, mostly it's just making coloring books, yeah.
No, he's creating personas to MI6.
Yeah. Disguise people.
Exactly.
Making avatars for disguising people. Other than that, it's been busy. I think working from home has kind of excelled in terms of workload, but at the same time, you've got the luxury of working from home, isn't it? That's the saving a bit of money as well at the same time.
The trade,
yeah. So other than that,
I do more work at home than I do in the office.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, not getting fucking interrupted constantly, are you?
Oh, a lot of meetings though. A lot of lot of online meetings like
A lot of
this.
meetings.
Yeah, which is. But yeah,
That was the problem I found with office jobs. Is like you just get like half of your job is like dancing around the office trying to avoid people so you can actually get work done, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's changed now. Instead of that, you get people emailing you and stuff like that. But yeah, on another note, Annie mentioned about the exercise stuff. I've been doing that sort of stuff as well. I actually linked Annie Jean-Claude Van Damme videos of him working out. Because he's in lockdown as well. So he's been uploading videos on how to stay fit and how to exercise indoors using indoor chairs and tables and stuff like that rather than weights. So yeah, that's been good. Keeping fit. It's the best way to occupy the time.
It's so important, man. It does help mental health and all that. It really does. It helps big time. Blue, are you here?
I am indeed here.
How are you?
I am here. Yes. I'm in real life. I haven't been getting up to much. As of most of what would have been summer holidays. But as of recently. Yeah, I've been in real life starting to put a portfolio together to look at unis.
Cool.
And generally trying to, get work done that I've neglected to do over the holidays.
It's hard to motivate yourself sometimes, though, isn't it? Just to crack on and get things done. I'm my worst enemy at that. It does annoys me.
Otherwise,
good.
Otherwise, it's I've got a D&D group that I've been running with some schoolmates, and otherwise just planning and running that. To be brutally honest.
Nice. Akami, I heard your delicious voice a minute ago. How are you, mate?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Last week was my first week back at work after having had 2.5 weeks off after 7 months of sheer hell at work. So that was a shock to the system getting back and finding out that no one had touched any of my workload in that time. It was like, yeah, great. I'll just pick all that back up again. Cheers, guys. Yeah, really, isn't it? It's like you go away, you hand over everything, say this is a bunch of shit that needs doing. If you could, at least try and do some of it, that'd be great. And you get back and they're all just like, what? No, don't know. So yeah, that was cool. Other than that, I've been really lazy on the working out front, seeing as that's a bit of a topic today. I haven't been doing that, but in those 2.5 weeks off, I know. In those 2.5 weeks off, we've done a lot of renovation on the house and garden, which for various reasons over the last few years have been horribly neglected. So that's been really good and positive, actually. Sort of turning the house more into a home at last. And just for the shits and giggles of it, on the back of some of the comments that my D&D group have made about the voice work I do for my characters in D&D, the other week I went off down to London to Soho Studios. And did an introduction to voice acting and voiceover session, and the guy gave me some really fucking glowing feedback. So I'm doing homework on that and buying myself a decent audio setup, and I'm gonna maybe mess around with trying to get into that a little bit, which would be so much fun. Yeah,
I've got a friend of mine was doing that actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told me he met some guy who was like a voice actor agent or something, and he's from Scotland, and they love the Scottish accent, don't they? And those adverts and stuff. So
yeah.
I think he's
I've got some.
Yeah, you've got a great voice.
You've got clips that he sent me that we set down during that session. But hearing my voice back, I think it might be because the recording gear is actually good quality. I'm like, I don't hate the sound of my voice for a change. Holy fuck.
Yeah. No,
and
you've got
also
a good
partially because doing that sort of thing, you put on a slightly different persona, so you don't necessarily sound entirely like yourself. But it's really interesting, and it would be fantastic to be able to get into a creative outlet like that as something to do on top of work. It should be fantastic.
Yeah, good.
I don't sound like myself.
I think I dropped the call.
I do
No,
not
we can
sound
still hear you.
like this. Sorry, what?
Yeah, my internet out here is way dodgy.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I caught everything you were saying. So.
All right, cool. I just heard nothing
Good.
back, so inbound went, outbound stayed.
Sparks, what's been going on, bud? Other than your Minecraft adventures.
Well, work's just been, work. Since it's summer holidays on school sites, we've been just getting all the nitty-gritty things that need to get done, and just a lot going on. And there's only 2 of us, so it's been hell, but oh well. You get on with it. And,
Yeah, this is it.
hopefully next week is the final week, so it's a rush to the finish to please everyone, so then we can just sit back and go, sorted. But that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, don't.
So,
I hope it goes
we
well,
should-
mate. I hope it goes well.
should go well, hopefully. Thank you, anyways.
And no worries, bud. And last but not least, Mr. Tam Wolf, what's going on? What's going on?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, it's all right. I've been work's been super busy. I've been put on a project to create an app to learn calculus, which I know will come as a shock to everyone, but I am not good at calculus. So I started with some online courses to learn calculus. I then degraded to calculus for beginners, and then went to
What is mathematics?
what is maths? And then came to an agreement with the client that you do the calculus, I'll just do the design bit, and that seems to have worked out pretty well for us. So
Sounds
so
intense.
amongst trying to create a calculus app, mostly just sitting around the house, staring out the window into the existential void of the pandemic. So it's mostly been me.
You're actually going to help me out in this next section, which is part of it. Actually worked out quite nicely having you at the end of the
Indeed.
run of things. I've just posted up the schedule into the event chat. Obviously, we've just had a little catch up with everyone, and we're running a little bit later. Might be slightly intentional because one of the guests we were having at 12:45 had to pull out for family matter, so we're hoping to get them in for the next time. But shortly we will be bringing back 2 legends of the game, LupusLondonWolf and Branded Bunny, previous committee and good friends of yours, Tam, and good friends of mine as well.
Indeed, yes.
So we will get them on in a second. We've also got the usual art jam rooms opening, and today, for the first time, we'll have a fursuit workshop hosted by Faruku Costumes. So we'll get Faruku on just at the end of this little live bit to just talk through that, and we'll get those rooms open.
Did the network die?
No.
I don't
I
know.
think Annie has vanished.
Annie's died.
I think
Yes.
Discord
Yeah.
dropped Annie.
He's on. I think he's on Wi-Fi. I think. Uh-oh.
This is where we could do with like the art music again as like an intermission.
Play some music. Cue some music. Tempo music. There we go.
No, don't put that on. No, do Jeopardy.
Stand by.
Jeopardy.
Stand by.
We are having
Technical difficulties. Yeah.
Please stand by.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We should-
chairman
no, we
will
should-
return after these short messages.
Let's all go to the
We
lobby.
need like a
Good eye.
robotic voice. We are
While we've got it looks like Annie might be out, then why don't we just segue smoothly into
No,
introducing-
not bloody Raid Shadow Legends. No.
Hey guys, Rain Shady here.
Today's sponsor. No, what you need is something like this on, which will go really well with it. Once the ad goes past.
Oh, I don't play Raid.
Okay, so hypothetically, if we did like a Raid Shadow Legends thing next meet, how many people would actually be interested just for the meme?
No.
Or, like,
No,
I feel like it'd be a good idea. I feel let's all go play Raid Shadow Legends. You know, I'm not all sponsored.
Sorry.
I haven't
what
been
is-
paid $2 grand
what
to
is
say
Raid
Raid
Shadow
No.
Legends?
No,
Raid
Yes.
I will
Shadow
come over
Legends
there
is-
and shove that sponsor somewhere the sun doesn't shine if you carry on.
Who would?
Hey, how about Final Fantasy 14 instead?
Not me armpits! Bloody hell!
I've just been talking to myself for the past 10 minutes, haven't I?
Yeah. Oh, no.
I mean, that's probably a sign of your mental health not doing too well there. So you might want to, anything to unburden if you're talking to yourself rather than talking to other people.
Literally, I was just talking about the meaning of life, like, how amazing. I just worked out the best fucking thing ever, and I said it, and I'm never saying it again. I'm done.
I can say it in one word: 42.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Where did I actually get up to before my computer decided
you got
to
to welcome
disconnect?
to the London Furs meet, and then you cut off.
Oh man. Okay, so hi everyone. It's been 6 weeks since our last. Yeah. I mean, God. Yeah. Please not again, Lupus. Love it. Where did I actually get up to? We've got the. Let's just jump in. Let's do it.
Legends
Tom,
of the first
you're here.
and friends of the various people.
I'm here. I got you, buddy. Let's introduce the old timers. Let's wheel them in.
Lupus, London Wolf, Branded Bunny. Unmute and come and say hello.
I think less of the old timers for starters, please, old chap.
I was going to say, like, half of you the same age as us. Hello.
How did you get on with getting into Discord, Lupus?
Well, it involved several maps, and I think I got lost in a forest.
That's about right.
I was seriously impressed though when you got on. You were just, it's flawless. It's like you've been doing it your whole life.
It's what happens about being drunk for at least 27 years. It just sort of flows.
Next, we'll need to start uploading some TikTok videos, Lupus.
No.
I'm not sure the internet's ready for that. It might break the internet.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Break the internet.
There's only so much bandwidth.
So we should just do a quick shout out to Bariki, who couldn't be here because we realised the time zones were just not going to work out, and we couldn't pay him enough money to get him out of bed. So
you were paying him.
I was going to say, is there any money?
Wait,
no, you two volunteered. You two volunteered. Bariki,
Bariki,
he breached his contract. Let's have a quick introduction then, Lev. What if you could introduce yourself, Bunny, and tell us what you used to do and for the LondonFurs community?
Okay, so hi everyone. My name's Branded Bunny, or Bunny. I have been in the furry community since 2001. So about 19 years now. I've done various meets. I think my first meet was a London meet all the way back in 2001, and during that time I went to meets quite regularly, and eventually back in 2008 me, Lupus and 3 other furs took over running the London meets, and we created the first LondonFurs Committee. So I did that for approximately 3 or 4 years before handing over the reins. So yeah, I'm definitely I think the term is grey muzzle now. Certainly I've got streaks of grey. But yeah, I've been in the community. Thanks. And yeah, so that's kind of me. I've been literally in this community for almost 20 years now.
Awesome. 20 years. I'm not far off, mate. I'm not far off.
I was going to say, we sort of started around the same time, didn't we? More or less.
Yeah, not more or less. Exactly.
Lupus
London
carriage clock at when you get 20 years old into the fandom. What do you get when you hit 40 years, Lupus?
Oh, yeah. Enough of that. Enough of that.
Yeah, Lupus, introduce yourself and just let us know how you got into it and what you used to do for LondonFurs.
Okay, so I'm LupusLondonWolf, traditionally just gone by Lupus. I'm a relative newcomer, I suppose, compared to Branded Bunny, because I stumbled upon the fandom around about 2006, I think, back in the old days where we booked a floor in the Theodore Bullfrog. Great times. And yeah, I think, well, we got together in around about 2008 and decided that as the meets were getting larger and larger, that it wasn't fair to for one person to shoulder all the responsibility. So myself, Bunni, Bariki, and a couple of others got together, formed the first committee, and then it sort of snowballed from there, I suppose. But I've been around for 13, 14, 15 years, and I like to still think that I'm part of the community, even though I haven't been particularly active over the last couple. But it's great to be back. I'll say it's good to see people, good to hear people. It's nice to see that you guys have managed to keep this sort of stuff going, even with the unprecedented times that we're in. Most overused phrase in history. You guys are doing a cracking job. That even without being able to physically meet up, you're still going. There's 100 people on here. It's brilliant.
I'd echo that. It's lovely to hear Lupus as well, because me and Lupus had lunch together in London just before all the lockdown in February.
You did, didn't we?
That's the last time we spoke together, and we had a lovely lunch, and we said, oh, we must do this more often, and then COVID hit. So it's firstly lovely to hear from you, but I absolutely echo this. I'm really impressed with the ingenuity and the dedication of all the staff on this to keep this going, because I know how much effort it is to do these sort of things. So well done.
Absolutely. No, definitely. Brilliant, guys.
It's huge to hear from both of you, because
It's great to have you.
yeah, 100%. We were a bit gutted that Bariki couldn't come along as well.
Yeah, he couldn't be asked to get up, could he? So
Well, it turns out it was
this is
4
it.
a.m.
I mean,
San Francisco time, so I think we'll all
like
forgive
time
someone
zone
getting
for a
upset.
surprise for him. I mean, for goodness sake.
Yeah. What, you're using London time? How novel.
Yeah. No.
4 a.m. is not that early, is it? You could have been up for that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just going to jump in with a question that I've been super curious about with you guys. So, what was it like when you formed your the committee that first time? Like, what was the kind of the first thing that you did as a committee? Like, was it the venue? Was it getting communications in place? What were the most important things that you wanted to sort out?
I've actually got the emails from the 17th, of September 2008 between me and Lupus, where we were talking about it. And the first thing, so at this point, the meets were a bit like Highlander. You kind of took it on, and only one may stand, in the sense that there was always one person in charge, and it was a bit like monarchs at that point. So you might get a nice king or queen, and sometimes you get an awful one. So the first thing that we did was really to set up the committee. We put in Lupus drafted the first code of conduct, affectionately called the Cock at the time, and we posted these on UK Fur forums, which at that point was the centre of the furry social universe, it felt like, along with LiveJournal. And so we got those up. We were having chats. We were sorting out the venue in terms of making sure that the manager was aware that we were taking over. We sorted out things like deposits. The previous person that was running them, we had to sort out the money and things like that. And then we were effectively deluged with all of probably the queries that you're all used to. So all of the wonderful queries that you will get at a meet, like, what can I do? Blah blah has done this. Someone's stolen my lunch money. Someone's just broken a table. People having sex in the toilet. So, it's the usual stuff. So, it was definitely a trial. Yeah, I know. Like, please don't. That was a cautionary tale.
That was complicated, Alex, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was. So there was a lot going on, but it was really to establish the rules, let everyone know us. We were even somewhat in a kind of like tin pot dictatorship way, sort of democratic. We kind of went, we're doing this. This is a committee. Does everyone agree? And we even had a little vote on UK Fair Forum to kind of to have that. Fortunately, everyone voted us in, and they were happy with them. So that was kind of where we got to. So we tried to put a little bit of order to what was going on. There are a lot of emails between me and Lupus at that point trying to sort
Half the point was that, notwithstanding that we didn't necessarily think the poor chap who was dumped into running LondonFurs was doing a particularly good job, but it was getting so large that the bars and the venues and things, they wanted to make the sort of relationship more formal. So it took more than just one person. the reason myself and Bunny and Bariki and everyone else set this up was we had a different set of skills. So some of us were good at contracts, some of us were good at people management, some of us were good at other bits and pieces. And we needed to present a more, I suppose, corporate front without wanting to sound too corporate to the bars and venues that were giving us their time and space, and they required guarantees. And it's not fair to ask one person to shoulder a financial guarantee for a load of people who are fairly disparate, to be honest. So all of a sudden, we thought it was fair to spread that amongst a few people who knew what they were doing, who did this in their working lives. And that's when we started building up the relationship with what was the Saint at the start. It then became the Wall Bar for parties, Agenda, which is now the Tank and Paddle, I think, and all sorts of bits and pieces. You start to build up the relationships. And then it snowballed, I suppose, when we started to get the odd complaint about people who were on walks doing damage to other people's stuff, which is why we formed the physical committee and the legal entity, LondonFurs, so we could start getting insurances for things like this, which I think I'll be honest, Bun, it didn't go down particularly well at the time. A lot of people thought we were over-corporating stuff, but it was all a liabilities thing, because there was no way that I personally was going to take on liability for other people. There was no way Bunny was, that Annie wouldn't, Bariki wouldn't. So we had to form an entity to allow us to get insurance, because it turned out it was totally impossible to get it as a person. But as soon as you formed a company, you could get insurance. And that then meant talking to bigger venues and talking to the boats for the summer parties and things just became a lot easier.
Yeah, a lot of fun along the way, didn't we? With it all.
It was fantastic fun. It really was. I mean, you got lots of bullshit, but it was really good fun because we felt like we were actually helping and enriching the community.
100%. When you started the community, the committee, was Miyabi involved straight away? Because I think it's important to point out Miyabi.
Miyabi
was one of the founding fathers.
Yeah,
and
he was.
He's not been around to do these online meets, but the whole brand of LondonFurs in terms of the image of it and the professionalism with the websites and things like that, I think he was a massive contributor to all of that, and it's someone we
personally drove it, and Ollie was all of that. The reason we have Samson is because of him.
He's absolutely fantastic. His expertise shines through. He's done so much for the community, and like you said, he came up with the brand, that logo, and Samson in itself. You know, it was him, and he put so much into this community. So absolutely big props to him, and a massive props to Bariki and Miles, who were the other two committee members who also did a lot of work on this. So
that's why we set the community, the committee up like that. It was that Alex, being you were a people person, and also you understood contract law. I was not necessarily a people person, but understood contract law, which is what we needed. Miyabi was a creative chap who could deal with branding. Miles understood security, and Bariki was good on and hot on the financial side. So we selected a group of people who had the skills that really needed to set up the committee to make sure we could do exactly what we needed to do for LondonFurs and make sure we could get the venues and keep it going. And then that sort of segued into the company that was founded, because I became chairman, Bariki became the treasurer, and it just sort of worked that way. So it was deliberate. It was very much a calculated decision that we didn't just decide that it needed to be a group of people, but it needed to be a group of people who were invested in the community, but also had the skills that were necessary. Suddenly, it's gone from booking when I started, at least in 2007, and Bunny obviously way before, it went from putting a 50 quid deposit down for booking a top floor for 2 hours in the Theodore Bullfrog to booking a monster bar underneath a skyscraper in central London, and that's where we wanted to take it, and we had the best time doing it.
I think we do.
And the
forget
worst
as well,
time,
you,
I'm
you,
sure.
You did
Oh yeah,
mention
but
that it was,
worst time is
it was
that's fine.
controversial,
Look,
wasn't it?
you don't walk into these sort of things thinking it's going to be popular, but you have to sort of be a little bit arrogant. You have to think that you do know that what you're doing is the right thing, and you're going to get a lot of flack from people who think you're siphoning off funds, or you think you're doing it because your ego and all the rest of that sort of bollocks.
Wasn't there a meme that went around at the time of, I think it was Alpha with 2 bottles of champagne with the caption, embezzlement? What embezzlement?
Absolutely. And that was actually in, I think, response to a rumour that went round that I was funding an event management company by siphoning off money from LondonFurs, despite the fact that I don't have an event management company. I don't pretend to be able to do it, but it's one of those things that just happens. People don't like it, and I can get it because it went from something that for a lot of people was just a grouping. It was a bit of fun, to something that suddenly had rules. It suddenly had regulations. It suddenly had a code of conduct, and that took some of the fun away from people. But it also was necessary for us to be able to carry on what we were doing, because suddenly we went from 40 people in about 2007 to 400 people. You can't just walk into a pub and say, I would like to book it for that sort of period. It doesn't work like that. So you need something behind it. And yes, it wasn't popular. Absolutely wasn't popular. We got in loads and loads of flack from people who thought we were doing it because we wanted to be popular furs and all the rest of that stuff. No, literally, you do not want to do this job. As Annie knows, it's thankless.
Yeah, it's a hard job, isn't it? It is, and I think that's why I'm very, very impressed with all of you, the staff on here. But the other thing that I'd remark is I'm really proud of how much it's grown in the last 10 years. From meet, the meets that we had, the regular ones would be about 100, maybe a bit more than that. And now that you're up to sort of 200 regularly, and I'm sure the parties are absolutely massive. I'm really, really proud of the community, and I think the thing for me is. London Furs and furry communities in general, they're very warm and accepting groups. Yeah, of course you're always going to have issues within that, but it's made a home for me and for Lupus when we were in our formative years growing up, and I've got friends out of it that are lifelong friends. Like me and Lupus have we met at a London Furs meet. I was in my lovely Ronnie Corbett style knitted vest top, which I'm sure you'll remember, Lucas, looking
absolutely
as far as ever.
Etched on my memory.
I know, and then we've been talking and friends ever since, and we don't get to meet up as much as we'd like anymore, but when we do, it's like nothing's changed. So one of the things I would say is wonderful about this community, and especially if you're new or a bit younger than us, which isn't hard, let's face it, is that you can make wonderful friends out of this, and you can have lasting friendships, and that is such a wonderful thing. I've met so many wonderful people who've got such amazing talents, like people like my RB. I've got a friend, Zip Wolf, who is a qualified physio now, but is doing personal training. So I've got someone helping me with exercise. I've got people who've got amazing IT skills who have helped me, and I think that's the wonderful thing about the community. It's full of wonderful, creative people.
Well, it absolutely is, and look, I will say, obviously, I met my husband through furry. We're married now. We've been married for 2 years. I wouldn't have met Alpha if I hadn't have met him through furry. So it's more than just a fan club. You can make some real friends, and you can build lasting relationships through it, and that's what I love about it.
And before we
it's a special thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you have any more questions for us, Annie? Because like I said, we're old men now. We can talk for hours.
We can talk for hours. Yeah, look, I can literally just whinge about Discord for 5 hours if you want. But
I was going to say you've touched upon a lot of the questions I was going to ask. I mean, I guess the biggest changes must have been the numbers of people. I mean, you touched upon it in that 40 turned to 400 in that short period of time. You know, when I first started going to meets, it was at the Saint, and you look at the Saint now, and you sort of think there is no way a LondonFurs meet could fit in the Saint. No.
You're talking about the Saint, but you're forgetting the shitty golf bar that came before it. I mean,
this is it. I never
You were
experienced
waiting-
it.
Oh my word!
Camden
It was a
before all of you.
strip club. It was a basement strip
We were in a
club.
strip
that
club,
was like
everyone. We were in a strip club at
unbelievably
one
bad.
point.
But even the strip
Yeah,
club made you go in the basement.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because we were so horrified by us, they actually put us in a basement. So
Yeah.
we have changed
Well
quite a lot.
done.
And
But we went. I think you'll agree on this. We went from that to booking the bottom of the gherkin and things like that. I mean,
That is something I did want to touch on, is that party, because I think, like, for me, that was when I came out of furry exile for a while, and I came back from what was the Devonshire Arms, which was upstairs in a pub in Camden, to suddenly having the bar from the Shard and everyone in tuxedos. Like how did that come about? That was ambitious.
minor correction. It was the gherkin rather than the Shard.
Was it
I
the
don't think the
gherkin,
Shard
yeah.
even
Yeah.
finished at
before
this
the Shard,
point.
wasn't it?
But that was, I think it was because we were in our 20s at this point. We were a bit boisterous. We were a bit like, we wanted to do that, and I think we really had a thing that we wanted to drive the meets forward and to make people feel like it was a really special event. Like, you don't often do that, and there was a lot of people that hadn't experienced something like that. And we were like, let's just show them what a real party is like the kind of party that you would see on a film. We wanted to have that. And at that point, we were, because furs drink. Oh my God, they drink. You know, our minimum 10. We could knock it out the park. So we were like, let's do it. Let's arrange it. We're not any worse than any of the bloody bankers' parties that might have gone on in there. So we got that, and it was amazing. It was phenomenal. It was brilliant. Everyone looked so great because, you know, went in with the theme. The other party that really stands in my mind, and it still does to this day, we did a Cowboys and Indians summer party.
Oh yeah.
It was just hilarious.
Brilliant.
It was so much fun. There was some outfits which I'm not sure they were appropriate. Let's just say they were a little bit skimpy in places, but we had so much fun, and that was the thing that I think really knocked it out of the park for us, was when we did the summer and the Christmas parties, and we put so much effort into getting that. But it's the kind of memories that you build on, and I think that was quite a big important point.
We wanted St. LondonFurs forward, and so we got in bed with a small event management company, I suppose, that had ins to bars like the Sterling and Agenda and Amber and places like that. And the first one that we did, if you remember, was the Wall Bar, which is now Bacchus, which is on right in the middle of central London, next to the NatWest Tower,
Liverpool Street.
And we told them that there would be 300 people. And there would be 150 people at the door at 12 o'clock when we started. And they didn't believe us. And they had one member of bar staff on. And at 11:45, there was nearly 100 people queuing. And they shit themselves because they had no idea. Because they get told this stuff by all of these people and literally nothing ever happens. But with us, they knew after that point that if we said something, it was going to happen. Which meant all of a sudden it unlocked a huge amount of venues in London, which, the like of our community, we didn't deserve to be there. There were these huge venues that suddenly turned up, like Amber, which became, Agenda, which became Tank and Pedal, which is the new home. We should never have got that. I mean, that's next to Tower of London. That's on Gracechurch Street, Mincing Lane. It is one of the big corporate parts of the city, but now it's a home to a fur meet. And look back 10 years and we were wading through other people's urine in a basement strip club, and see how far you've come.
Beautifully put.
It's mad.
Exactly.
It is. Were there any hard feelings when you guys left the committee? What was the what did it come down to in the end?
I think it was time to allow someone else to do it, because I'd taken it to where I wanted to take it. I wanted it to turn it into, obviously nothing corporate, but something that had a sustainable future. I wanted it to not be ad hoc anymore. I wanted it to be something that was almost guaranteed. And by the time we were doing the big summer parties, the Christmas parties, and we had a home at Jamie's, no, I felt that I'd done enough and it was time for new blood. By that point, I was getting pretty bloody old. As you notice, the clientele at Furry Meets doesn't get older. We just get older.
Yeah, we just go to the underlying lands. It's fine. Don't worry. You'll be there soon. No,
we get put out of pasture, don't we, Alex? So
we dropped off at the farm. Yeah, it was. I think it was hard. I left. I think Lupus is right. We had done quite a lot at this point, and I think the other point was that we were probably in our mid to late 20s at this point, and we'd done all of this. I think we wanted to also concentrate. I certainly wanted to concentrate on my career as well and work.
Yeah.
But also it burnt me out a bit. At that point, there was 5 or 6. I think it was 6 of us because Agrajag came along. There was very
we had
few
the
of us.
secondary committee at that point, didn't we? Bun, as well? We'd actually got a second tier of people helping us.
Yeah, we had
wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, and we were I was exhausted, and I absolutely, like I said, I love this community. I think you all mid to late 20s is totally not old. Don't worry, trust me.
Yeah, don't worry.
You're fine. You're fine.
It gets older.
You're still young to us. So it was for me. I absolutely loved the community. I loved the bits where I could be with people. So one of my things that I really love doing is helping people. I'm such a mother hen, as I'm sure Annie will attest to.
100%, yeah.
And and now in my career and my job, I'm very fortunate. I get to mentor people as well at work, which is brilliant, and that's amazing. It's an amazing experience. It's amazing, sort of being the furry mother, I guess, to 100 or more furs every 3 weeks, but it's really tiring. So big props to a lot of the people who are still in staff. Like Annie, you've been doing this for years. I'm so impressed with you. Absolutely, massively proud in only a way that I could be. And
thank you.
Yeah, I needed to move on. That doesn't mean I don't absolutely love the community. I still love London. I haven't been to a meet in years, but I would absolutely love to come to one again and say hi. I won't know anyone anymore, but Annie, I'm sure we can have a drink together.
100%.
I'll tell you what, one thing I miss is a damn good hug, because actually
thank you so much.
I'm not a particularly tactile person, but my word, it was just amazing. You could go and you could just have hugs. And you don't get to do that in the old corporate London world. It's kind of frowned on in client meetings.
Although you did hug me outside my company, like not my company. I don't own a company. Please don't think I'm that successful. The company I work for, corporate headquarters. Like we had a proper hug after our last lunch.
You did.
Oh.
But that's me moving from one corporate headquarters to your corporate headquarters.
We're all in the same area, aren't we? So yeah, no, I think it's that, and absolutely, I think the one thing I would love to see more, and I need to do this more, so this is on me, is to make sure that we keep that multi-generational vibe going, because one of the things that really helped me when I first came was the furs that were older. So I came in at 17. I was naive. I was young. There were furs in their 20s who were like big brothers and sisters to me that really looked after me. And then there were furs in their 40s and their 50s who were amazing. They went through, they were queer people that had to live through the 80s and the early 90s through the AIDS crisis. That to me is amazing. That's what, like these people are really powerful. And I think what makes a great community is to have a wonderful mix of different people from different backgrounds and different ages.
100%.
It does, but I do wonder. The part of me, one of the reasons I did stop going to fur meets is I felt like I was becoming the old guy hanging around young people.
Yeah,
and I didn't want anyone who was coming into the furry community to think that there were old drunky, lecherous old farts propping up the bar who were going to prey on them. And I know that that's not what I did and what you did, but it's all about perception, and to try and keep the community free and open and not even have the sort of preconception or even thought that that sort of stuff was going around. I felt like I had to back out because I am nearly 40. And hanging around 16-year-olds in any sense is not a particularly popular thing to do.
No.
So
I think
when I felt like I needed to backtrack, I think, because I was,
Yeah,
to
and
quote
I
Danny Glover, I was getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, and I feel a bit like that. I think there needs to. I think for me, London Furs always needs to be a good time box for a large amount of people from different backgrounds. And
Yeah.
I agree. I kind of drifted away from it because of my age and feeling that discomfort. But I also then think, well, actually, some of the in my formative years, the people that really made a difference were those people in that older age group. And it
Yeah,
wasn't
big shouts out
electricity.
to the like of Black Snip and people like that.
Oh yeah, they were
Yeah,
wonderful.
100%.
Clepsydra, they really made a big difference to me. So
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting debate to have, and I think it's great that we can have that debate.
No,
I mean,
absolutely.
that's
So
the
if we do
beauty of
turn
it now
back
is
up, we need to turn up in sort of tweed blazers and
I'll
Yes,
dig out
please.
elbow
my
patches,
spare.
and basically geography
Spoil for it.
teacher, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Well, with the leather elbow patches and everything.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
One thing I will say though, guys, is I do think that London Furs is in safe hands.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no doubt that we built something up and we have left it to people who are worthy of carrying it on. I know that might sound a bit arrogant, but we worked our asses off to get to where we got to, and we haven't looked back. There's no concern, because if there was, we'd come back and we'd come and take it back. We have
like
no
the evil dark
concern
lords that
over.
we are.
Pretty much, yeah, because it's always going to be my bitch, London Furs.
Yeah.
If I feel like I need to come back and sort it out, I will, and I don't. London Furs is in safe hands, and you guys you've grown your community. The community, not your community, the community. You've grown that. You have grown, established, and blossomed relationships with the corporate entities you need to, the bars, and all the rest of it. You are doing a fantastic job. And every single person who is on Discord today needs to understand just how hard these people work. And they don't want praise. You do not do this for praise or butt pats or anything else. You do it because you love it. And it's not easy, but you're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah,
it's massive to hear that from you guys.
I was going to say I absolutely did butt pats, but no, it absolutely.
Yeah, we're not allowed to do that anymore, Alex. Because if we do that, we sort of get arrested.
Yeah. No, but no, it was it absolutely agree with you. It's amazing. Thank you so much for keeping it going. And all I can say is do what you're doing, and it's to be good ancestors. It's to leave something in a better state than you found it in, and I absolutely think you are. So thank you so much for continuing.
At some point, your legacy will continue. You will hand over to the next generation of people that come through, but just keep the legacy going. It's good.
Exactly. I mean, it's yeah, exactly. No chance, Carmen. You're stuck, mate. It's a life sentence. I want to say that you guys, what you did, it's a testament to meets all over the UK and worldwide. Everyone sets up committees now and does it in the same structure the way you did it. And I had massive respect for you all as an attendee and being able to work with you as staff. A big point of today is I wanted to get you on here to let people to know what you all went through and to say thank you, because what we did inherit and what we've evolved from there has been an amazing thing. And the staff that are involved with us today, some of the best people I know, they put the amount of work and effort and time they put into to build this community and to spread the love is what it's all about. And yeah, we owe you a massive thank you. And
You owe us
yeah,
nothing,
I really
Andy.
want to see you at meets again. You know,
You owe
I
us
want to see you
nothing.
at meets again.
We did what was necessary at the time, and now it fortunately has become standard service across the board. No one owes us anything. We did what we thought was necessary to keep the meets going. We absolutely did not go in it for praise or revelation or anything else. It was what necessary at the time. So it's appreciated that you say it, but you really don't need to say it.
Yeah,
we did what we needed to do.
Exactly, and we did it for people like you and the community to make sure you had something like that. And I'm so glad that you get to enjoy it, and you've taken it to the next level. So again, massive thank you to everyone in the staff.
Yeah, absolutely. You're all doing brilliantly. Everyone needs to know that it's thankless. The boys and girls who are running it are doing a superb job, even if you don't think they are, because trust me, you don't want to walk in their boots because it's hard work.
It is hard work. Tom, are you still there? You're a bit quiet, buddy.
I'm just listening in. It's lovely
I'm just blown away.
I'm just weeping. Just tears coming down my cheeks.
I'm blown away by you two. Like, I'm really. Jeez.
So I mean, you are right. It's hard work as well, and I think when everyone is working their hardest, when the most of work gone into it, from the outside it seems invisible and seamless. Everything just runs, and that's underneath the surface. That's people pedaling away to keep that running as smoothly and
you're a swan, aren't you? You're serene on the surface, but underneath the water, you're flapping around like God knows what.
Don't get any started on swans. We'll be here for hours.
Shitting everywhere.
Well, Bunny and Lupus, London Wolf, thank you so much for coming along today. We really appreciate you coming and having the chat with us.
Pleasure.
Yeah, it's been really good. We will have to get you on again just to morale boost again, because I think we need it every now and then.
Yeah.
Well,
if you need to wheel us out, I'm sure we can be wheeled out if you need us.
Home, yeah.
Absolutely. Just give me a couple of days notice so I can sober up. All's fine. You guys are doing a brilliant job. Look, seriously, you're working through a period which none of us ever anticipated, and you've managed to move meets online in a way that I didn't think was possible because I'm an old bastard. But you still managed to do it. You've still got over 100 people on Discord today listening to me and Bun witter on about how it was greener in the old days and get off my lawn. You're doing a fantastic job, and obviously meets will come back, and you'll be back at the tank and paddle before you know it. But
100%.
You're holding the community together during a really difficult time, and I don't envy you at all. This is really, really hard, because this is the sort of thing that kills communities. You basically only have a couple of months to keep this sort of stuff going. If you don't put the effort in, it dies. And you are putting the effort in, so I genuinely applaud you for what you're doing. It's fantastic.
And
thank you, mate.
Add,
it's...
Go ahead, Annie. Sorry.
No, Bunny, please.
Oh, all I was going to add is if everyone's doing a tea run, which it looks like is on the chat run, I will have a decaf tea with no sugar, thanks. Don't
decaf? Are you a homosexual?
Oh, I am literally so old now that caffeine damages me. So
I've run out of
being awake all night.
Actually, no, just get me gin. I'm lying. Just get me gin.
They just gin work.
I was going to say, hold on.
Hold on. One of those as well.
Yeah.
I'll have a tea. Thanks.
Okay. Anyway,
right, I think
Razak, you can piss off with your I'm sober. I'm not sober. I haven't been sober since I saw you last time. I've just seen that pop up.
Lupus is never sober.
Dear.
You know that.
No, I've only been drunk once. It's lasted 27 years.
Annie, you better move us on. We will literally
Always
carry on
chasing the
talking.
dream. No, I'm loving it. I'm just like
We
letting
should
it
just
happen.
move this to our
is
own room,
beautiful.
really, shouldn't we? And people can just listen in while we just witter on.
Yeah,
Exactly. So again, thank you guys. Moving on, we will be opening up the art jam rooms as normal, and while we have this last little bit, I'd love to bring in Faruku just to introduce the fursuit workshop that she's hosting today. Sorry, Faruku, I know we've run over slightly, 10 minutes.
Is this working? Am I here?
Yeah, yeah, you're
Oh, yeah, good. Hello. Yeah, so I'm
How
not quite sure
do?
which room we're doing it in. I'm doing really great, actually. I'm good. I'm excited to host this little thing. We're gonna be doing I'm going to be your teacher for an hour or so, and you can come and ask questions and give you red lines. You'd be like, Faro, where'd you get this fur from? I will tell you. I am at your beck and call for when you need me, and that's what we're going to do here. If that made any
Yeah,
sense.
it's a really cool, yeah, definitely. It's a really cool idea. I think I'm just looking for the room myself, actually. I think we just need to set it up. So, following this, we'll set you up with a voice channel and a text room. And if anyone wants to jump in there just to discuss building fursuits and such, that's
Let me give you my trade secrets, because there ain't no trade secrets. You can have them.
Yeah, I was like I touched upon at the start. It was amazing that I just couldn't believe it last 6 weeks ago that everyone was doing it. You know, it was.
I think it was a thing a handful of years ago where somebody would do something new and they'd be like, "How do you do that?" And they'd be like, "Well, I get trying to keep some things to yourself and letting people experiment, but sometimes you just gotta tell them. Just gotta tell them." Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah, sharing is caring. You're so right.
We are gonna. So, I think Bab, if you stop the recording, what we're gonna do is keep the event voice open, I think, and we'll do it in here because we didn't get the room set up, which is a bit annoying. Is what it is.
Is what it is.
I can do that pretty quick, actually.
Yeah.
If you like. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
Right. Give me a sec.
It goes.
Your key boy.
Moo's setting it up. He just said, I think.
God, Discord's so hard.
It is. It's a night. Do you know what?
It's so much.
It's where my technical knowledge has just gone downhill. I've kind of just, blagging it. Oh, no closing statement. Here's a closing statement. Thanks, everyone. That was awesome. Thanks for tuning in for this live section. We are now moving on to the fursuit section. Cheers, cheers.